When we think of the most spectacular goals in football, we often remember the dribbles, the long-range strikes, and individual moments of brilliance. But from a coaching perspective, what truly separates elite finishers is efficiency. This is where one-touch finishing plays a crucial role. It enables rapid execution, minimises defensive reaction time, and often defines the outcome of an attacking sequence. In this video, we'll analyse the underlying principles and tactical aspects of one of the most efficient finishing techniques in modern football. We will explore factors such as distance to goal, defensive positioning, timing, and body mechanics, all converging within a single contact. Whether you're a coach, a player, or a student of the game, this analysis is designed for you. Let's start with the data. According to performance metrics from Europe's top leagues, shots taken with a single touch inside the penalty area have a conversion rate of up to 45% higher than shots where players first control the ball before shooting. This advantage seems to stem primarily from the reduced reaction time available to defenders and goalkeepers. Additionally, closer proximity to the goal effectively enlarges the available target area, allowing the shooter greater margin for precision and control. One-touch finishing forces defenders into reactive positions and exploits moments of defensive instability, such as when the back line is shifting or retreating, and when the goalkeeper is still adjusting to the ball's movement. From a coaching perspective, it represents a comprehensive test of a player's spatial awareness, his technical control under pressure, and his anticipation. Players like Erling Haaland or Karim Benzema succeed not solely due to their physical attributes, but because of their ability to read the game and position themselves optimally before the opportunity arises. One-touch finishing does not occur in isolation. It's not merely a technical execution, but the result of tactical awareness and spatial opportunity. Understanding when and where this type of finish becomes effective is crucial. Let us start with positioning. In many cases, one-touch finishes are more effective when the ball is received within approximately 12 metres from goal, though successful execution also depends on multiple contextual factors. This distance often forces defenders into immediate decision-making while simultaneously restricting the goalkeeper's ability to adjust their positioning. When passes arrive through cutbacks or driven crosses, attackers have a brief window where space and time converge into a scoring opportunity. In addition to proximity, the number of defenders positioned between the ball and the goal also influences the success rate. When there are none or only one defender between the attacker and the goal, the likelihood of a successful finish increases significantly. Therefore, effective finishers constantly monitor defensive alignment, identify gaps, and position themselves accordingly to receive the ball. While the tactical context creates the opportunity, execution depends entirely on technical proficiency. In one-touch finishing, every detail is critical. First, body orientation. A successful one-touch finish begins before the ball arrives, with the correct positioning of the feet, hips, and shoulders. This alignment allows for clean contact and efficient release. Second, surface selection. The inside of the foot offers greater control and directional accuracy, making it ideal for placed finishes. The instep generates additional power, particularly effective for longer distance shots. In restricted situations, the outside of the foot can create alternative angles, particularly when the ball arrives towards the non-dominant foot and there is insufficient time for body adjustment. Third, balance and posture. Core stability is essential. Players who maintain a compact posture are better positioned to strike the ball cleanly. Overextension or compromised balance often results in misdirected or mishit shots. Finally, energy transfer. One-touch finishing involves controlled, compact movements in many cases. Kinetic energy is generated from the planted foot, transferred through the hips, and delivered into the contact point with precision. Technique in one-touch finishing is not limited to striking the ball itself, but rather involves managing all proprietary variables to optimize execution within extremely limited timeframes. In elite football, the difference between scoring and missing often lies in fractions of a second. That's why timing in one-touch finishing is equally as important as technique. Before the ball arrives, the striker must have already made a decision. This involves reading defenders' movements, assessing the weight and speed of the pass, and determining whether a one-touch finish is feasible. Timing also dictates rhythm. Arriving too early may require waiting, which invites defensive pressure and causes a loss of momentum during the finishing approach. Arriving too late may result in missed opportunities or forced attempts from inconvenient angles and positions of compromised balance. The most effective finishers coordinate their runs precisely with the delivery, ensuring that the ball meets their stride rather than requiring late adjustments. Decision making is equally critical. Not every situation requires an immediate shot. In some cases, allowing the ball to travel across the body or making minor adjustments can create a better finishing angle. However, in congested areas or when the goalkeeper is off balance, hesitation often eliminates the scoring chance. Therefore, the decision must be executed with conviction. Visual cues assist this process. Observing the passer's body orientation and eye movement, scanning defender positions, sensing pressure from behind, and evaluating the position of the goal all contribute to the pre-finishing assessment. Coaches can train these scenarios using constraint-based drills, but ultimately these decisions become habitual through repeated exposure and experience. In one-touch finishing, the best decisions are invisible. They're made well before the shot, in the mind and not just in the feet. Developing one-touch finishing isn't just about repetition, but about creating the appropriate training environment. This involves designing drills that replicate real match conditions, including pressure, movement, and unpredictability. One of the most effective approaches is constraint-based training. For example, limiting touches inside the penalty area forces players to think ahead and execute faster. Introducing passive or active defenders adds a decision-making component that simulates match scenarios. The objective is not to produce perfect finishes during training, but to establish habits related to timing, positioning, and movement. Progressive drills are particularly effective. Start with static drills where players receive balls from cutbacks to focus on establishing proper mechanics without defenders. Then, progress into dynamic patterns such as overlapping runs, third-man combinations, and wide crosses delivered with varying trajectories and greater distances to goal. Introduce elements of randomness, such as deflections, late passes, and unpredictable service. This allows players to develop adaptive skills and improve their ability to read the game under variable conditions. When adding defenders, training often begins with numerical inferiority for defenders to facilitate offensive repetitions. However, to better simulate match conditions, transitioning towards numerical equality or even inferiority ensures realistic decision-making challenges reflecting the actual demands of game situations. Finally, vary the types of service: low-driven crosses, chipped balls, or fast ground passes. This diversity conditions the player to adapt technique and surface choice according to the specific delivery. The aim is not robotic repetition, but to develop players capable of finding solutions across a wide range of scenarios through structured and progressively challenging exercises. Consistent execution begins with high-quality, game-representative training environments. By replicating the complexity of matchday, one-touch finishing becomes an integrated, instinctive skill. One-touch finishing is a reflection of decision speed, technical precision, and tactical intelligence. From body mechanics to timing, from spatial awareness to training design, every detail contributes to turning half chances into goals. For coaches, it's a skill worth investing in. For players, it's a habit worth mastering. Observe the patterns, train with purpose, and when the moment comes, trust the process and finish in one.